All right, what's up, everybody? Man, it has been a long time since I've been on live with y'all. So I guess I'm back, and I just kind of want to give it a bit and just kind of catch up with everyone. So I'll give it a minute and see who jumps in. So if you're watching, I don't know where you're watching from, but I am live on Facebook at Ivy Nicole. I'm Facebook Live at the Pink District. Let's have girl talk. And I am also live on YouTube. So I need you to head over to my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. So again, like I said, it's been a minute since I have been live with y'all. So I think this is the perfect opportunity to just kind of catch up. So over time, maybe wow, how long has it been? Maybe about a year or so. But over time, I've been getting questions, I should say, about kind of what inspired She Evolves and where did this come from. So I'm going to kind of tap into just a few questions that I think is interesting that people have asked me. I actually kept notes of it. So the first question, it pertains to the personal journey and inspiration. Can you share a little bit about your personal journey and what inspired you to become an advocate for women's empowerment? I mean, for one, I'm a girl's girl and I'm a woman. So who else would I advocate other than women like myself? Especially Detroit born, DPS my whole life. Just the typical Detroit story, I should say. Just kind of growing up in Detroit, fatherless homes. Um, and actually, I kind of actually wrote this earlier as I was doing one of my assignments, just kind of talking about the fact that I am a social worker and I didn't even want to be a social worker. It was just kind of one of those things like, you want to apply? Okay, sure. Why not? I'll apply. But the more I actually started getting into the study and into the actual program and just working with the other women, I fell in love with the craft. No one can ever take me away from being a girl's girl. So that is the answer as to what inspired me to become an advocate for women's empowerment. And again, if you can't advocate for yourself, who can you advocate for? So, I will. Oh, this is a good one. What challenges have you faced in your career and how did you overcome them? So, who all that knows my story, and I'm not going to repeat it. For those that don't know my story, then eventually you will get to know my story. So, again, what challenge I face? Well, I think the hardest thing for me was being so hands on, being so involved in the community, um, having to work full time, and not having the proper credentials. That will just kind of take me to the next level of my career. And, like I say all the time, or I have shared with other people, that this degree is really not for me. Like, of course, it'll look pretty on my wall. It'll be something nice for me to say that I accomplished it. But at the end of the day, this degree is for my community because this is what I hold dear to my heart is my community. So again, why I've been missing in action was because I've been in school. I've been going hard. This is my second year. I believe I have like a year and a half to go before I hit grad school. But as time goes, I will share that journey with you. But listen, y'all, sis is tired. So let me see who I got down here. I got Robert. If you still here, what's up? How are you? And talk to me. Do you have any questions for me? This is a catch up with Ivy Nicole time. So let's see. How do you measure success and impact? And okay, this was a good one. It says, how do you measure success and impact of your empowerment initiatives? Um, Again, they just kind of go into situations not being selfish, right? Because again, at the end of the day, it's not about me. Um, it's about the community overall. So I think as you get further along, you will see that there's challenges. Just to be able to create initiatives, I think partnership is very important, and that's something I had to learn later on in life because for a long time I was just trying to do everything myself and just kind of having that controlling disposition over business, over community leadership. I wanted to be it all to everybody, right? And eventually I had to be realistic because I was driving myself crazy trying to do everything that I knew in my heart that I could not do, was not ready to do. And guess what? To be perfectly honest, really didn't want to do it, right? But it's important in this work that you put your ego to a side, you put your issues and your problems to the side, and just learn how to partner with people. And the best thing I can say is just kind of stay in your lane. And that is what helped me. So I will get to other questions. Again, y'all, I don't know who's watching from where. I can't really see who's watching. It looks like someone is here on Facebook. Say what's up. Drop your name. Drop a question down in the chat for me. Um, all right, let's see. Okay, what does empowerment mean? What does empowerment mean to you personally and professionally? So, for me, I would say that personally and professionally, I think it's pretty much both the same. When I look at empowerment, it means that training up the next generation to be able to go hard because again realistically um, you can't you can't do this for the rest of your life, right? And you want to be able to actually sit down, enjoy the fruit of your labor, and kind of breathe because at the end of the day, um, advocacy, empowerment, all of those great things can be exhausting. And it's a very high burnout situation. Um, I will say this. For those in the advocacy world, empowerment world, all of the above, um, give yourself some grace. That's my best advice that I can ever give is to just give yourself some grace, allow yourself to be human, allow yourself to feel emotions. Because as a woman, being an advocate or an organizer or whatever, you're expected to be every woman and you're expected to not fall, not crumble, and have the answers to everything. But you can't. You have to be willing to step aside and pass the torch. In all actuality, um, let's see. I am kind of gonna go into. All right, I think this is a fun one. I don't really know who said this, but it says, "Can you discuss the intersection of mental health and motherhood, and how society can better support mothers?" Personally, I don't know, because I do not have any children. But I will say, especially as it pertains to the Black community and Black mothers, how it's very difficult to be able to be understood, accepted, and taken serious as it pertains to healthcare. Um, you can go to any doctor, but I think my strategy and my philosophy is that we need more Black women on the team. We need more Black women psychiatrists. We need more Black women psychologists. Um, and, I'm going to say it here that Michigan needs to allow full practicing authority to nurse practitioners, because there are several nurse practitioners. I know a few personally, and they are great and they are amazing. And I believe wholeheartedly that they will do very well, if they had their own private practice and be able to serve the underprivileged community. But however, Michigan ain't about that life, and it's been sitting there forever. Trying to understand, will and if Michigan will ever allow nurse practitioners full authority to practice. Um, so, again, I think that's important. Whether you're a nurse practitioner in psych, um, OB, because we are talking about motherhood, um, and just kind of be able, to have someone that looks like you and come from the places that you've been. I believe it's very important to be able to see that, because when I was little, I don't remember anyone that looked like me. I don't remember going to a doctor that looked like me, a dentist that looked like me, OB that looked like me, or anyone for that matter that looked like me. And it was in my later years, as I'm gonna say maybe like the last 10 years or so, when I actually went on a hunt for an all Black team, because that was very important to me as it pertains to my physical health and my mental health, and my girly health, um, as well. Um, so, let's see what else we got. All right, y'all. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. All right. So I got somebody watching. What's up? Um, Say hi to me. Let's chit chat. Or maybe we could talk offline. You can always email me at info. That's info at ivnicole.com. Again, that is info at ivnicole.com. Let me see. All right. How can women advocate for themselves in male dominated industries and workplaces? Okay. This is my thought. This is my idea, when we're talking about women's equality, because it's a long time coming. And this is not just Black women, but just women in general. And you can see what's happening today, especially during this very important election cycle, that women are not playing. So, you know what? It could be a male dominated situation or industry, all they want, but just understand that the women are not playing. Um, and they're taking back their power. They're taking everything that's owed to them. And we are. All right, let's see. What role do men play in the movement towards women's empowerment? How can they be effective allies? Huh. All right. I think men can be effective in this women's movement by simply supporting. Um, Being confident in your manhood is the number one thing, because if you're not, you're always going to feel as though women, we are a threat. And you have to be the dominant one in the situation. When in all actuality, that's kind of making the situation worse than what it has to be. So, again, for my men out there watching, just make sure to support the women in your life. Don't try to take over. Make sure that you are following the women's lead, because this is our fight, and at this point, we need help and guidance and support. We don't need any man coming in, tearing us down, ripping us apart, um, and trying to take over our movement. Let me see. Like, I'm scanning through these because these are some good questions. Um, okay. What was a pivotal moment in your life that significantly influenced your path towards advocating for women's rights? Um, Again, kind of as I stated earlier, that if I can't fight for me, I can't fight for you. And as a woman, I would be crazy to not support other women, back other women, or anything for that matter. But to kind of dig deep into the narrative of women's rights, women's equality. Um, Back in the day, I would celebrate my birthday as any other day. I would get dressed up. I would get my hair done. I would get my nails done. I would pop bottles. I would be at the club. I would be somewhere living a life. But as I began to get older, my birthday meant something to me. I started placing more value on the day that I was born, meaning because it's August 26th, which is Women's Equality Day. And the moment that I actually began to dig deep into the history and to see what women went through 100+ years ago, just for the right to vote. That was August 26th, 1920. But before that, it was the night of terror. And this was the night when the women, they put up to the courthouse. They demanded that they had the right to vote. They were not playing any games. But as a result, some of them went to prison. Some of them was beaten. They were raped. I'm not sure if anyone died. But that's enough. That's enough. These women put their life on the line so that we can be here today. And let's call it for what it is. Women's Equality Day did not include Black women. However, it gave us the foundation because without the 19th Amendment being ratified, we would not be days away from the first Black female president of the United States. All right. I see Ralph is in the chat. Uh, Ralph said, hey. So, Ralph, what's up? What's going on? Talk to me. What is going on with you? All right. It looked like Ralph dipped out. He's probably, excuse me, he's probably calling me or something. But we will move on. And I'm going to go through just a few more questions and then I'm going to call it a night. It's been a long day and it's Friday. I'm ready to go night night, to be perfectly honest. But I promise that this will not be your last time seeing me. I will continue to push through and make sure that issues within our community um, are being highlighted. So I will answer a couple more questions. All right, I think, let's see. How do cultural perceptions of gender roles affect women empowerment efforts globally? I'm going to read that again. So, how do cultural perception of gender roles affect women's empowerment? Okay. Again, we're talking about culture, where culture is not something that exists within the United States of America. Reason this is the land of the free, right? You're kind of free to do what you want to do, how you want to do it. Um, Not exactly, but for the most part, this is what it is. And this is how America get down culturally. You know, we're talking about families. Some families um, grew up two parent household and they learned gender roles by way of modeling. Um, Monkey see, monkey do, right? You learn what you learn and you act the way you do based on how you were raised, what you saw. And again, you may not do it exactly the way you perceived it. It may be the total opposite, right? Sometimes lifestyles and situations can teach you what it is that you don't want to be or what you don't want to do, right? Or sometimes family habits or family norms, I should say, um, become the normal thing of how people do stuff, right? But when you get out into society, society says something different. So, again, this is an issue that's a daily fight because how what's right? Is it nature versus nurture, right? This has been an argument for God knows how long, since the beginning of time, I should say. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I'm saying. Um, nature versus nurture, right? I want to kind of put that out there. How do you act? Where do you get your behavior from? Is it through genetics or is it through learning? Or is it a little bit of both? I don't know. But this is something that we will actually dive deep into as I continue to go on and I continue to broadcast. I promise that we will actually get into the real stuff and how history has shaped who we are today. So if you're watching, please come back next Friday. So next Friday is going to be at 7:30 and not 7 o'clock. But make sure you continue to watch my Facebook page. Make sure you like them. If you're not my friend, be my friend. Hit that subscribe button. I am on YouTube Live. And if you want to chat, you want to kick it, you want to be on the guest, you want to be a guest, then slide into my DM. Pauline Peterson, how are you? What is going on with you? You said good topic. Thank you. I feel like I'm kind of all over the place right now because I have not been on in a minute. It's been, oh God, I want to say maybe about a year or so. Just work life balance got the best of me. And, all work and no play is not healthy for your mental health. So, again, I'm putting myself out there, but this will be a different type of dialogue. Again, we will go into historical factors, cultural pieces, everything that you could possibly name up. Because I actually remember maybe like when I first started college and we had to take these humanities classes and history classes and all of those prerequisites that you gotta take that you think has nothing to do with anything. But guess what? It does. Everything that you learn from our history is what we're seeing today. And we cannot make changes unless we understand why we're at where we're at. So, again, I love you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Pauline Peterson, let's connect. Slide into my DMs. I met you a few years ago with Tashana, the political princess in Inkster. Okay. All right. Yes, definitely. Let's connect. Slide into my DMs and let's see how we can take over the world. But again, I know I didn't say bye 1,000 times, but I mean it this time, y'all. So I'll be back. Bye.